Digital world has changed photography completely, right? Today, if you have a smartphone, you're a photographer. Today, if you walking on the streets, you don't really need to carry a big DSLR with different lenses out there to shoot. What it has done is it has taken this art to multiple people who did not have access to it, which is fantastic. So you'll see a lot of creativity around it. What it's also done is a lot of abuse of the art. So everyone thinks they're a photographer also. So that's the strange part. But if you look at it, at the end of the day, it's the art that will benefit, because there are more people who can do this, more people who can really shoot. There are movies that are shot on iPhone today. They're going to Cannes. They're winning film festival awards. So the medium is not it. It's just the creativity of the person. But what has not changed is the fact that it is still storytelling, right? At the end of the day, your photography has to have a story. If there is a story in your photograph, it will still be a great photograph, whether you've shot it through an iPhone or whether you've shot it through a DSLR, which is around 2 lakh rupees. So that in the essence has not changed. It's just the medium that's changed. The art is still the same, I feel. I was lucky in my B school. I had a small exhibition. I had a little point-and-shoot camera, and I just did a little, exhibition. And one of the bands called Swaratma, their percussionist is also a big photographer. And he saw my work and he said, "Why don't you be a photographer?" And that's when I seriously started exploring it. In the early days, of course, Steve McCurry was one of the guys. When I later explored, I like documentary photography a lot. I think it's a serious thing. I like the world of work of Sol Leiter. I like James Nache. He's a war photographer. So those were the people that really influenced me. And I think I try and make my photographs similar to what they do. I guess somewhere there is an influence, because that's how you learn. And in the essence, if you look at it, all of these guys have one thing in common: is there is a lot of story behind each photograph. There is visual storytelling, and which is what I try and aim to get at. Now, I think this question is a matter of debate, which is going on the internet for quite some time. And is it Photoshop that makes you a photographer, or is it the camera that makes you a photographer? But in the essence of it, if you see, even back in the day, right, there was a dark room. People used to process their images. There were a lot of processing that was done. There is this amazing photographer, street photographer, which someone found, which was Vivian Meyer. Somebody processed their work and then made a documentary film. So that's when the people started exploring this, and we saw that it was always there. It's just that it's become digital now, and you can do a lot more. So people have moved from just basic editing and burning and touching to a lot more. No right or wrong here, to be honest. Some people say that I'll be a classic. I'll just shoot the photograph, do basic touching, and I'm fine. Some people say that no, I want to improve the visual storytelling, enhance a few things, make them look a little more better, how it was, maybe how vivid it was, and I want to talk about that. So I don't think it's the software that's making you. Again, it's what you want to show to the audience, and you're creating that. If you're taking the help of a software, some people are taking that, it's fine. I think it's up to them. Now this is the tricky one, no? Because is there really a profession here or not? Because everyone's a photographer and people are posting photographs on Instagram and then doing it for free for so many things, which I really don't appreciate, to be honest. It's an art. If you're doing something, it's somebody's work, and you do it for a particular amount, because at the end of the day you're working. It's a work form, right? And I think there is a lot of scope. The scope has increased, but there's a lot of competition also, right? A lot of people who can just take a phone, have some Instagram photographs out there, and brands are tying up with them. Just so that, because the medium has changed, people are consuming photographs on the phone. You don't really have to have a high-res picture because it's not print anymore. So
Especially the manipulation which they make.
Exactly.
Like they just take pictures somewhere and then that will be like, seriously, this Photoshop. That's how it's going on the internet.
I mean, anyone can do anything there, right? But it is difficult. There are multiple genres. There are thousands of wedding photographers now, right? Everyone's a wedding photographer. But I feel that after a while, people really see who's good, who's bad. It takes a while, but that consistency has to be there, and then you figure out who's going to win the long battle. So I think there is enough and more to do. It just takes a while. It takes a little more while to prove yourself. Simple message. It's not the equipment, it's your storytelling. So if you have a story in mind, then whatever you want to create, or you want to, like they say, it's not, you don't take a photograph, you make a photograph, right? So whatever you want to make, you can make it. Equipment is not something to be bothered. Remember that most of the equipment we are using today is far more advanced than so many great photographers had when back in the 1900s and 1950s. Ansel Adams did not have a DSLR when he was creating magic out there, right? So it's not the equipment, it's you and it's your art that will win at the end of the day. So that's it.